Before we begin, if stories like this hit close to home, please subscribe to the channel. And when the story ends, share your thoughts in the comments. You never know who might need to hear your voice. The wine glass clinked once, sharp and deliberate, and the room went quiet. My mother stood at the head of the Thanksgiving table, smiling the way she always did when she was about to say something she knew would sting. "I just want to make a little toast," she said, "to the only child who actually matters." For a second, I honestly thought I'd misheard her. My brain scrambled to soften it, to translate it into something less cruel. But then she turned slowly and lifted her glass toward my younger brother. Everyone laughed. Awkward, polite laughter. Forks paused midair. Someone coughed. I felt my wife's hand tighten around mine under the table, but she didn't look at me. The smell of roasted turkey and sage stuffing suddenly made my stomach turn. The candles flickered, and I noticed a crack in the wall behind my mother's head, something I'd never seen before. Even though this was the house I grew up in, I forced a smile. That's what I'd been trained to do. Don't make a scene. Don't ruin the holiday. But something inside me cracked anyway. All evening I replayed the toast in my head, wondering if this was really the moment everything finally came into focus, or if it had been happening for years and I just refused to see it. The signs were there. They always had been. My calls going unanswered while my brother got immediate replies. Family plans changing last minute without telling me. My wife getting texts from my mother that she brushed off with, "It's nothing. Just family stuff." After dinner, while everyone watched football in the living room, I stepped outside to breathe. The cold air burned my lungs in a way that felt grounding. I checked my phone and saw a message from my wife, sent an hour earlier, while she'd been sitting right next to me. "Please don't react tonight. We'll talk later." My heart started pounding. React to what? I typed, then deleted it. I already knew. When we got home that night, the silence was heavy. She hung up her coat carefully, like this was any other evening. I watched her from the kitchen doorway, noticing how tired she looked. How distant. What was that about? I finally asked. "The text." She exhaled slowly. "I didn't want you to be blindsided by my own mother humiliating me." She flinched. "She didn't mean it like that." I laughed. A short, hollow sound. How did she mean it then? That's when the truth started to unravel. Slowly. Painfully. My wife admitted my mother had been talking to her for months, complaining about me, comparing me to my brother, saying she worried I was holding her back, that my brother was more reliable, more successful, more important. "At first I defended you," she said. "I swear." But she kept saying the same things. And sometimes, I didn't know how to argue anymore. I felt like the floor dropped out from under me. "So you just let her?" I asked quietly. "Let her talk about me like I don't matter?" Tears filled her eyes. I thought I was keeping the peace. That phrase, keeping the peace, hit me harder than the toast. Over the next few days, memories turned sour. Birthdays where my gift was an afterthought. Holidays where my brother's accomplishments were celebrated and mine politely ignored. The time my mom told my wife right in front of me, "At least one of my sons turned out right." I'd laughed then too. I decided to confront my mother. Not in anger. Just honesty. When I told her how the toast made me feel, she sighed like I was exhausting her. "You're too sensitive," she said. "You've always been. Do you even hear yourself?" I asked. "You said I don't matter." She shrugged. "I was joking. Everyone knows your brother carries this family." That was the moment I realized she wasn't going to change. Not because she couldn't, but because she didn't want to. The real turning point, though, came later that night when my wife asked me, "What do you want to do now?" I thought about it for a long time. About loyalty. About love. About how often I'd shrunk myself to fit into rooms that didn't want me whole. "I want to stop pretending this is okay," I said. We argued. We cried. She admitted she liked feeling accepted by my family, even if it meant staying quiet when I was hurt. I admitted I was tired of being the easy one to sacrifice. No one was a villain, but everyone had made choices. We're still figuring things out. Therapy. Distance. Boundaries that feel uncomfortable but necessary. I didn't go back for Christmas. And you know what? The world didn't end. Thanksgiving taught me something I should have learned a long time ago. Love that requires you to disappear isn't love, it's convenience.